On this episode of Simply, we'll visit a wildlife rehabilitation rescue in Foster, Rhode Island. Then we'll meet a slithery friend at Roger Williams Park Zoo. We hit a seafood festival on Providence's waterfront that always draws a crowd. Then Chef Nick gets us in the spooky spirit with a frightful recipe. All before Wines and More serves up a tasty, perfect pairing. Simply New England is presented by Cranston's Wines and More. And Star. Work where you love. Hey everybody, I'm Becky Gibble, and this is Simply New England. It's October, which means time to put away those window units, unpack your autumn sweaters, and gear up for everything pumpkin spice. We are falling for fall. So grab a light jacket and come along. It's gonna be a great show. Hey folks, welcome back. Ooh, feel that chill in the air? Well, don't worry, because this next segment will warm your heart. We meet up with Pamela Hood, the founder of Sweet Binks, a wildlife rescue. Content warning, this next part could induce oohs and ahs.
Hi, I'm Pamela Hood, and we're at Sweet Binks Rescue. Sweet Binks is a long-time animal rescue I founded back in 2002, primarily as a domestic rabbit and farm animal rescue, which I ran for 17 years. At that point, I needed a change, and I decided wildlife. My mother did it. It's been something that's fascinated me my whole life, and so I became trained and licensed and started Sweet Binks as a wildlife rehabilitation organization. We take in about 550 to 600 wildlife patients annually, mostly in the Northwest Rhode Island area. We see up to about 90 different species of wildlife, but our primary focus is on orphaned white-tailed deer fawns, birds of prey, and songbirds. But we do rehabilitate rabies vector species such as bats, skunks, we see turtles, we see all kinds of wildlife. I've had people bring me butterflies and toads and frogs and snakes, and we take them all. I was born an animal lover. I didn't play with dolls. I collected earthworms, ants, snakes. I kind of got out of it when I went into the military. And then I went to work for Southwest Airlines. I really didn't have any animals at that time in my life. And then I met my husband and I went back to that. All my past prepared me very well for what I do now, because what wildlife rehabilitators do is very difficult. It's a difficult job. There's a lot of joy in it, but there's a lot of heartbreak in it too. Almost everything that comes in is human impact. Very few wild animals come in naturally. I just had a crow come in that hit a school bus and it's got some head trauma. Lawnmowers, hedge clippers, cats, dogs, cars, pesticides, herbicides, spraying for ticks. That all affects our birds. And our birds are in serious decline. It is just me as far as the actual rehabilitation, but I do rely on volunteers for transport. I could not do this without our donors, without our supporters. Just the rodents that I feed the birds of prey alone, I've spent $4 grand this year. So when I say we, I'm talking the collective village of we, from the finders, the donors, the volunteer transporters. We have many outdoor enclosures for birds of prey, for fawns, for songbirds, ducks, geese. And we're constantly improving it, and that's where the public can help us so we can have an even greater impact on our wildlife. wildlife and helping them. Releases are the ultimate. So to see that bird fly, it's what makes everything that we do worthwhile.
Isn't it refreshing to hear a good story? Pamela's got our feathered and furry friends covered, but we didn't want to leave our cold-blooded besties out in the, well, cold. So next up, we head to Roger Williams Park Zoo to meet up with Edwin the snake.
Hi, I'm Meg, School Program Specialist here at the Roger Williams Park Zoo, and I am in Ambassador Animal Holding with my friend Edwin. Edwin is a red-tailed boa. He's about 10 years old. He has a very distinct, beautiful mustache pattern you might be able to get a good look at. And usually when we bring him places to show him, we hold him like this in a waist hold. Kind of makes it a little comfortable for them. And they're cold-blooded, so they get their heat from what's around them. So I'm kind of like a nice, toasty, warm tree branch for him right now. And Edwin goes out to a lot of different schools and meets tons of people. And it's really awesome because snakes are really misunderstood. So we get the chance to introduce ourselves to him, and he shows them how cool he actually is. So it's really cool. Edwin's diet is a medium-sized rat every other Wednesday, which might not seem like a lot, but it would be like if we ate a whole pizza, you probably wouldn't want to eat again for a little bit. But every animal is different and has their own diet that's created by our veterinarian. Edwin is one of our ambassadors who sometimes when the weather's really nice gets to go out and hang out in the zoo and meet people. So if you're lucky and the weather's nice enough, you might get the chance to meet Edwin here at the zoo.
So my name is Tom McGinn, and along with my wife Kristen, we own and operate the Providence Riverboat Company and the Landing PVD, which is our store here at 101 Dyer Street. We have gifts here for tourists, some ice cream, and it's a great place to check in and get people down to the river. And when this building was built, the water was right there. This was a pier, and it would pull ships up against this building and use it for warehousing and maybe some retail space on the first floor. The address looks straight at what would have been the historic port of Providence. You can imagine tall ships lined up along the riverbanks here. As recently as the 1930s and 40s, steamships and passenger vessels would have pulled right up into this area. The tour that's happening tonight is the Providence Ghost Tour. We partner with the Providence Ghost Tour Company, and they come aboard the boat and they tell stories about some of the things that people have seen in some of the buildings downtown.
I'm Courtney Edge Mattis. I'm the owner of Providence Ghost Tour. It carries us right through the downtown, right at sunset. So you've got these beautiful lights coming up. Providence has this sort of natural air of mystery, and so it just lends the perfect scene for our tour.
And it gives the city a certain ambiance and air, especially from the water, that you don't get from just walking around on some of the streets.
Providence has a lot more than meets the eye. You know, we're a very beautiful city just to enjoy. But if you dig a little more deeply, you get this little underbelly that just draws you in. And we have these stories that are hiding in plain sight. And so that's what we uncover each evening.
Welcome, welcome to the Ghost Tour. My name is Clay. I will be your tour guide this evening on this lovely river here. Gonna tell lots of fun, ghosty, spooky stories. So just prepare yourselves for those.
The stories come from the people that live here and the people that are experiencing them. And so I get the privilege of hearing people share these active hauntings with us. You don't have to believe in the paranormal to really have a wonderful time because you're learning about humanity. It's really about that connectivity that we have that defies time, it defies decades. It's all about the human connection. It's kind of romantic. These ghosts within Providence are so prevalent. We're very fortunate to have a wonderfully haunted city to enjoy here. So yes, dark history, mystery, scary, also really beautiful.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back. Next up, not even the threat of a hurricane can keep New Englanders from their shellfish. We head to the Rhode Island Seafood Fest at India Point Park. Let's dig in.
I'm TJ McNulty, and we are here at the 13th Annual Rhode Island Seafood Festival. Lots of things are going on. We have a whole bunch of vendors. We have live music all day. We have drinks, which are running low now because we've got a few more people than we anticipated, given the weather report. But a lot of fun happening, a lot of good food to be had. We have people like Matunic Oyster Bar and Shuck and Truck and Sunset Farms, Dell's Lemonade, Whalers Brewery, Narragansett Brewery, Chair 2, Deep Eddy. I wasn't expecting nearly as many people to come out yesterday as they did. Today is an absolutely gorgeous day, and we were expecting a great turnout today, but we're very impressed and grateful for everyone that decided to turn up yesterday, given that the weather was questionable. I mean, it's such a staple in the state. I feel like you can't go anywhere without seafood. You go to other parts of the country. I mean, I try seafood all around the world, and there's nothing that quite compares to Rhode Island seafood and New England seafood. It's really something of its own. So we obviously have seafood, but we have a lot of other non-seafood vendors. We have vegan options. There's music all day. There's game set up, and I mean, the park here itself is absolutely gorgeous. Just to be down here makes it a nice day, and we just add to the beauty of this park by giving you a whole bunch of things to do and a whole bunch of food to eat and drinks, and Army National Guard is a climbing wall here. That's a lot of fun. All around, it's a really nice event. Family, friends, it's a very good time.
My name is Sherry Ellis. I am a licensed independent clinical social worker, and I'm the CEO here at STAR, Stanley Street Treatment and Resources. STAR is an organization that is part of the very fabric of this area and region. STAR began as a substance use disorder setting, but quickly grew, and we have a fully federally qualified health center here, and we care for people on the medical side, the mental health side, and the substance use disorder side with a full continuum of care. The role of community healthcare is really to take care of the population in at-risk communities or communities who are underserved. And Fall River is an underserved area. And what community health centers do is they fill in that gap. So anyone who walks through the door here can find service. We have a full continuum of care, everything from outpatient to intensive outpatient to inpatient level of care for detox and substance use disorder residential. We have a women's center who takes care of domestic violence. We have a myriad of programs for prevention. That's who STAR is. They're dedicated professionals who pick up the next thing that has to be done for their patients. But to do that, we need great staff to continue to come. And although we build our own pipelines by training our staff at every level, during this unprecedented period of workforce shortages across the entire healthcare system, we want people to continue to come into community health. Community health is the very fabric of what most people go into caregiving for. And unfortunately, we can't compete with the hospitals and with salaries of some of the larger organizations that have corporate money behind them. But what we can do is we can take people and we can bring them along and provide training that they can't get anywhere else. And we offer so much to our staff. We have programs that promote movement, including we pay for people to go back and be certified in addiction. We pay for people to go back and do a bachelor's to a master's. And STAR does everything in its power to make sure that we provide learning for everyone. We invite you to come look at our website and look at what we have to offer. We want a workforce who wants to serve in the community and who wants to take care of those who perhaps are facing the largest challenges around healthcare and equity. We are doing that here at STAR. We are pushing and working to make sure that we promote health equity at the very place it should be among the people that need it.
Hey folks, I'm feeling a little bit weird, so I'm just gonna go check a couple things out. Stick around, we'll be right back. So, I know this sounds crazy, but I can't shake the feeling that someone's following me, so I'm just gonna keep moving, and we'll check in with Chef Nick, who coincidentally has been saying that something weird is going on over there, but I'm sure that once we get back, everything will be fine.
I'm on the search for some frightfully good ingredients. Pumpkin. Macaroni? Cheese? Pumpkin mac and cheese. Let's make pumpkin mac and cheese.
Well, that was scary, but certainly not as good as this ghoulishly good mac and cheese is gonna be. Let's get going. The foundation to every great mac and cheese is, of course, in the cheese sauce. I'm gonna start out today by making a traditional bechamel. So let's fire in a little bit of butter. And let's not be shy about it. And once it starts to melt, we're gonna go in with some garlic. Chopped garlic, about a teaspoon. You don't want it to be a dominant garlic sauce, but you want a little bit of flavor in there. And a little bit of chopped shallot. Shallot's a real mild member of the onion family. And if you cut it nice and small, they're gonna sweeten up in the butter. Now let's fire in some fresh herbs. I'm gonna use some thyme. You can never have too much thyme. So once that's sauteing, we're gonna season that butter with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And we're gonna go with some flour. This is what's called a roux. A roux is basically a thickening agent. Very old school. It's flavorful, and it's gonna help thicken up this mac and cheese sauce. And once that starts to look as great as that looks, we're gonna go in with our milk. You gotta use whole milk. Anything less, skim or low fat, is gonna break. You wanna whisk this, because what's gonna happen shortly is it's gonna start to thicken up. And if you're not paying attention, it could scorch the bottom of the pan. You can see that that has thickened up perfectly and is coating the back of a spoon. That means that we're ready to add some cheese. So first I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit of cream cheese. Just stir that up and let it dissolve. Whisk it right into the sauce. Shouldn't take much, about a tablespoon. Now, the main cheese that we're gonna use here today is Gouda cheese. Adds a little bit of that mac and cheese color that you would expect. And see, we're getting gooey here. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go in with some cheddar. Cheddar's kind of a staple in mac and cheese. I put it in all of mine at all the avenue ends anytime I make it. You're gonna get some great cheese pull out of that. And let's go in with some pumpkin puree. You can do fresh, you can do canned. The canned stuff works great. Fresh is better. Now we're looking like pumpkin mac and cheese. Look at that consistency. Nice and rich and thick. Great cheese in there, a little pull. I mean, that's what you're looking for. All right, sauce complete, absolutely perfect. Now, of course, we need some pasta. I've been going with some shells. Great little mac and cheese pasta because the mac and cheese finds its way to jump and hide. It kind of burrows its way right into not just the ridges, but inside the shell. So really, really important to have just a little extra sauce. You don't want soup, but you definitely want a little extra sauce. Let's grab our ladle. Let's get ready to serve. I mean, wow. There's no tricks there, all treat. Mac and cheese is perfect on its own, but it's also very soft. So I've made a crumb topping of bread, butter, cheese, bacon, and maple. Flawless, flawless with pumpkin mac and cheese. We're just gonna take some of that crumb and put it right on top. Look at that. I mean, we all like getting dressed up on Halloween. Our little pumpkin mac and cheese is no exception. Great for Halloween or any night of the week. Well, happy Halloween, everyone. Thanks for joining me as always. Eat, drink, be scary, and until we meet again,
keep on cooking!
Today's cocktail is going to be the Caribbean Espresso Martini. So you're going to start with 1.5 ounces of spiced rum. You're going to have 1 full ounce of fresh brewed espresso. You're going to do 1 ounce of Cayman Reef coffee liqueur. You're going to do 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. You're going to use aromatic bitters. It's that nice orange and cardamom. And a dash of cinnamon. Shake hard for 15 seconds. Strain into a chilled martini glass. And top with a pinch of cinnamon. There it is, the Caribbean Espresso Martini.
Well, folks, that does it for Becky Gibble. Oops, I mean the show. We'll see you in November, or will we? Simply New England is presented by Cranston's Wines and More and Star. Work where you love.